The lion who saved a dying puppy. An unexpected bond that changed everything. In the vast wilderness of the jungle, there was a small, abandoned puppy, struggling to stay alive. Its fur was matted, its body weak and trembling with every breath. Alone and helpless, it wandered aimlessly through the thick underbrush, its eyes dull with exhaustion. The jungle seemed endless, filled with dangers it couldn't even comprehend. Each step was harder than the last as the puppy's tiny body cried out for food, water, and care. The harsh reality was clear. Survival was a battle the little puppy might not win. The camera focuses on the puppy's fragile form, showing how it stumbled and fell, unable to keep going. Its pitiful whimpers echo through the jungle, but no one is around to help. This isn't just a story about an animal lost in the wild. It's a story about survival, hope, and the unexpected twists that life sometimes brings. The scene is quiet, almost too still, making the puppy's desperate situation feel even more real. The audience can feel the weight of its struggle, the helplessness that comes from being abandoned in such a harsh world. The puppy's heart races, knowing that if it doesn't find help soon, its life will end in the cold, unforgiving jungle. As the puppy takes another shaky step, its legs begin to give way. The small creature stumbles, its breath coming in short, labored gasps. It collapses onto the damp forest floor, its little body barely able to move. This is it, the point of no return. The puppy can't keep going like this. The jungle is too big, too dangerous for something so small and fragile. The camera zooms in on the puppy's face, showing the fear and helplessness in its eyes. It tries to lift its head, but exhaustion has taken its toll. There's no one around to hear its cries, no one to offer comfort. The ticking clock of survival is loud and relentless. Time is running out. The scene is heavy with emotion. The puppy's struggle to survive pulls the audience in, creating an intense sense of urgency. Every second counts, and the viewers can't help but wonder. Will someone come to save this poor, abandoned creature? Or is it already too late? The emotional tension builds, making the viewers feel the weight of the puppy's situation, setting the stage for the incredible twist that is about to unfold. Just as the tiny puppy lay there, helpless and weak, every passing second feeling like a lifetime, the forest seemed to hold its breath. The stillness of the jungle, broken only by the occasional rustle of leaves, suddenly gave way to a low, rumbling sound. At first, it was faint, barely noticeable, but the vibration in the air grew stronger with each passing moment. The puppy's ears flicked in confusion. Its weary eyes blinked in an attempt to understand the strange noise. But the strength was no longer in its limbs to even lift its head. The jungle had been silent, too silent. But now, the earth seemed to shake beneath the puppy's frail form. Twigs snapped. Leaves rustled with urgency. The sound was unmistakable. Something or someone was coming. The ground trembled, and a heavy, rhythmic thudding filled the air. The puppy's eyes widened. Its instincts kicked in, but it had no energy to flee. It lay there, vulnerable, waiting for what seemed like an inevitable end. Was it the end of its journey? Had the jungle sent its final predator to claim its life? From the depths of the jungle, a massive shadow emerged. The trees parted slowly, and there, stepping into the clearing, appeared a creature of immense power and beauty. A lion. The golden mane of the lion glowed as it moved, every muscle rippling beneath its fur. Its body was built for strength, its eyes sharp and focused. Yet something about its presence was almost regal, like it was both a force of nature and a guardian of the wild. The lion's eyes locked onto the puppy, its sharp gaze immediately assessing the situation. To anyone else, this would be a terrifying sight. An apex predator, standing tall with the puppy as its prey. The puppy's heart raced, its breathing shallow as fear overwhelmed it, but it had no strength left to run. The lion, stepping forward, seemed to loom larger with every passing second. Its heavy paws left deep imprints in the ground as it approached, and with each step, the tension grew. What would happen next? Would the lion pounce and end the puppy's suffering in one swift move? The viewers could feel the dread building up. But then, In a moment that left the world frozen in place, the lion did something no one expected. Paused. His golden eyes studied the puppy, softening. The atmosphere shifted. The tension that had built up over the past few moments seemed to dissolve in an instant. There was no growl, no lunge, no hunger-driven instinct. Instead, the lion crouched down low to the ground, its massive frame lowering itself in a surprisingly gentle manner. The puppy's eyes fluttered open again, still dazed from exhaustion and fear. But this time, it didn't feel the same overwhelming terror. The lion's eyes, though piercing, didn't seem dangerous. There was an unspoken calmness about the lion that the puppy sensed deep within its instincts. It was a strange comfort, one that the puppy couldn't understand, but felt deep within its bones. The lion's gaze was not filled with malice. It was more like curiosity, understanding. The camera captured the moment, zooming in on the lion's face, showing the sharpness of its features softened by an expression of calmness. There was something maternal in the way the lion looked at the puppy. It wasn't the look of a predator hunting its prey. It was the look of a creature who understood pain, who understood survival. The lion's massive, powerful paw extended, and with delicate precision, it nudged the puppy. The small body barely shifted, but the touch, gentle, almost motherly, was enough to spark a change in the air. The lion, which should have been a symbol of fear and power, became something entirely different. It was now a protector. The puppy, too weak to respond, simply laid there. But something remarkable happened. It stopped trembling as violently as before. It could feel the warmth of the lion's breath, the strength and security emanating from its massive form. For the first time since being abandoned, the puppy didn't feel completely alone. There was no immediate threat looming over it. Without a sound, the lion lowered its head, and with surprising tenderness, it opened its mouth. It gently grabbed the puppy by its scruff and, with the same care a mother lion would show its cub, lifted the puppy into the air. The lion's strong jaws, usually capable of crushing bones with ease, now cradled the puppy carefully, almost protectively. The camera panned as the lion slowly turned, walking toward a safer part of the jungle, with the puppy still cradled in its mouth. It moved with purpose, but there was an undeniable softness to its steps. The lion, despite its imposing size and power, was now in charge of keeping this tiny creature safe, guarding it from any dangers that might have loomed in the jungle's shadow. The emotional weight of the moment hit hard. The line between predator and protector had been blurred. What had seemed to be an inevitable tragedy for the puppy now transformed into an incredible act of unexpected kindness. In a world where nature's rules are clear, predator and prey, this moment rewrote everything. The lion, a creature known for its might, was showing tenderness, compassion, and care. It was a turning point, one that no one expected, and it left the audience stunned. This twist in the story would stay with the viewers, creating a sense of wonder and awe. How could a lion, an apex predator, be so gentle with a defenseless puppy? It left them questioning the true nature of strength, compassion, and the unlikely friendships that could form even in the most unexpected of circumstances. What would happen next in this extraordinary bond between the lion and the puppy? The viewers, now emotionally invested, couldn't wait to find out. As the lion carefully cradled the tiny puppy in its mouth, the jungle seemed to fall silent once again. The heavy, rhythmic steps of the lion's paws echoed through the dense trees, but there was a surprising gentleness to the sound. The lion's eyes remained fixed on the path ahead, yet its every movement was measured, as if it was fully aware of the delicate creature in its mouth. The warmth from the lion's breath surrounded the puppy, and for the first time since being abandoned, the small creature felt a glimmer of hope. The puppy, weak and trembling, barely had the strength to move, but it instinctively felt the lion's care. The lion's teeth, usually capable of delivering a fatal bite, held the puppy with a surprising softness. The protective instinct of the lion was evident in every delicate step it took, as though it knew it was responsible for this fragile life now. As the lion placed the puppy gently down in a small, sheltered area beneath a large tree, the puppy's tiny body relaxed for the first time in hours. The air was warm, and there was a sense of safety that it hadn't felt before. The first touch of the lion's care, the soft, steady movement of its mouth holding the puppy, was a message that the world had changed for the little creature. This was no longer a place of danger but a sanctuary, however brief it may be. The contrast between the puppy's frailty and the lion's strength was powerful. The lion's calm demeanor and slow, measured actions made the viewers pause, realizing how deeply instinctive its care for the puppy was. The camera captured the moment. The lion, towering over the puppy, not in aggression but in protection, creating an emotional scene of a guardian and its vulnerable charge. The puppy, now lying on the soft forest floor, looked up at the lion with tired eyes. Its chest rose and fell in slow, shallow breaths, the exhaustion still evident, but a sense of relief had settled over it. The lion, having ensured the puppy's comfort, sat nearby, keeping a watchful eye. There was no rush, no urgency. The lion seemed to be taking its time, ensuring that the little creature felt safe and secure. The sharp, dangerous hunter had transformed into a nurturing figure, its powerful presence now a source of comfort. The lion lowered its head, gently sniffing the puppy, as if to check its well-being. With surprising care, the lion began licking the puppy's face with its broad tongue, soothing and cleaning the tiny creature. The puppy flinched at first, but then relaxed as the lion's touch, soft yet powerful, helped clean the dirt and grime from its fur. The warmth of the lion's tongue, combined with the gentle nature of its movements, created an atmosphere of trust between the two. It was as if the lion understood the puppy's need for reassurance and comfort, offering its own strength to heal the little one. Every action the lion made was deliberate, filled with empathy. The viewers could sense the lion's innate understanding. This wasn't just an animal protecting another. This was an unspoken bond forming between two beings from completely different worlds. The gentle licking, the careful movements, the protective stance. It all spoke to an ancient, universal instinct to care for the vulnerable, to show love and safety when needed most. As the lion curled itself protectively around the puppy, its large, warm body forming a barrier against the dangers of the jungle, it was clear. The lion wasn't just looking after a stray. It had taken on the role of a parent, a guardian. The lion's actions weren't driven by hunger, fear, or instinctive violence. They were driven by something deeper, something pure and selfless. Over time, the relationship between the lion and the puppy began to evolve. The initial moments of fear and uncertainty faded, replaced by the undeniable feeling of trust. The puppy, now more rested and feeling safer than ever before, started to respond to the lion. At first, it was subtle. A slight nudge of its nose towards the lion's massive paw, a soft whine when it needed attention, or a gentle nuzzle against the lion's fur for warmth. The lion, in turn, would respond with the same protective patience. It allowed the puppy to curl up against its side, its massive frame offering warmth and comfort. The lion would look around the area, keeping watch for any potential threats, but its eyes would frequently return to the puppy, ensuring that the little one was okay. The bond was becoming more than just survival. It was something that transcended species, a shared understanding between two creatures in need of companionship. The more time they spent together, the more the puppy seemed to gain strength. It would try to sit up, its legs shaky at first, but the lion was always there, a silent protector. The viewers could sense the growing connection between them. The puppy no longer seemed weak and helpless, and the lion, though still a powerful force of nature, became a steady, calming presence. Their bond wasn't immediate, but it was undeniable. The lion's gentle care and the puppy's trust began to intertwine, forming an unspoken promise that they would look after one another. The viewers, seeing the transformation, can't help but feel moved. What started as a one-sided act of kindness from the lion had now blossomed into a deep, emotional connection between the two. This part of the story highlights not only the lion's protective instincts but also the beauty of the bond that can form between two creatures, two souls from completely different worlds, when they share the common need for love, safety, and companionship. It's a powerful reminder that kindness and care can break through the toughest of exteriors, creating friendships and connections in the most unlikely of places. As the days passed, the jungle became more than just a wild, untamed place for the puppy and the lion. It transformed into their sanctuary. Surrounded by towering trees and the constant hum of the natural world, the pair found a secluded, peaceful corner of the jungle where they could remain undisturbed. This was their home now, a place where the lion could protect its new companion and where the puppy could heal. The lion chose the spot wisely, beneath the thick canopy of leaves, shielded from the harsh sun and any potential threats. The air was cool, and the soft rustling of the leaves above created a soothing backdrop for their days together. The lion kept a vigilant watch, its large golden eyes scanning the area, while the puppy, now more alert and curious, rested nearby, trusting in the lion's protection. The jungle, once a place of survival, now felt like a nurturing environment for both of them. It was clear that the bond between the lion and the puppy was growing stronger by the day. The lion's protective nature provided a sense of security the puppy had never experienced, and the puppy's presence brought out a softer side of the lion, a side that could only be unlocked by the warmth of companionship. They were an unlikely duo, but together, they formed a perfect balance, a peaceful coexistence between strength and vulnerability. The puppy no longer feared the jungle's wild sounds, and the lion had found purpose in caring for this fragile little creature. Together, they created a safe haven within the vast wilderness. The change in the puppy was remarkable. What was once a weak, trembling animal barely clinging to life had transformed into a spirited, playful creature, thanks to the lion's tender care. Slowly but surely, the puppy regained its strength. Each day brought more energy, more curiosity. At first, the puppy had only been able to crawl weakly, but now it was running small laps around the lion, its tail wagging excitedly. The lion's care had given the puppy the strength to grow. It was no longer just a tiny, helpless being. It was now a growing puppy, filled with life and vigor. The moments when the puppy would try to run and trip over its own legs were met with the lion's gentle encouragement. The lion's presence remained steady, never too far from the puppy. When the puppy stumbled, the lion would nudge it gently, as though saying, "You're not alone." The jungle, with its warm days and cool nights, became the perfect place for the puppy to recover. The lion's watchful gaze kept everything at bay. No predators dared come near, knowing the power the lion possessed. And the puppy, feeling stronger with each passing day, became more confident in its ability to navigate the world around it. The lion, too, seemed to thrive in this new role, its sense of purpose clear as it watched over the growing puppy. The recovery was not just physical, it was emotional as well. The puppy, once abandoned, now had a family, a protector, and a future. Throughout their time together, there were countless moments of tenderness, moments that showcased the unique bond between the lion and the puppy. These were the quiet, unspoken times when the two shared an understanding that went beyond words. The lion, always watchful, would lie down beside the puppy, its massive body forming a shield around the tiny creature. The puppy would curl up against the lion's warm side, comforted by the rhythmic rise and fall of its protector's chest. There were moments when the puppy would gently nudge the lion's face with its small nose, a gesture of affection that melted even the hardest hearts. The lion, in turn, would lower its massive head, resting it softly on the ground, allowing the puppy to snuggle close, finding warmth in the lion's fur. These little acts of kindness were the heart of their growing relationship, small, quiet moments that spoke volumes about the depth of their bond. Even as the puppy grew more independent, the lion remained by its side. Whether it was in the heat of the day or the coolness of the night, they were rarely apart. The puppy would often follow the lion, its small paws padding along the ground, trying to keep up with the larger creature's powerful strides. When the lion would stop, it would glance down, watching the puppy as it caught up. There was a certain gentleness in the lion's gaze, a sense of care that was more profound than anything words could convey. Their bond wasn't just about survival. It was about companionship, love, and trust. As the days passed, the lion and the puppy became inseparable. Their moments together were filled with tenderness, and the jungle, once a place of danger, had now become a home filled with love. The viewers watching would feel a deep sense of warmth as they witnessed these moments. Moments that reminded them that no matter the species, love and care can bridge even the most unlikely of gaps. As the days passed, the absence of the little puppy weighed heavily on the hearts of its family. The puppy had been part of a small group of strays that had been lost in the jungle after a storm had swept through. Its family, frantic and desperate, had been searching ever since, calling out for the puppy, hoping to find any trace of it. The puppy had been abandoned once, and they feared that their little one was lost forever. The family's search for the lost puppy had been relentless. They combed through the jungle, calling its name, their voices full of sadness and longing. Every day, they ventured deeper into the thick jungle, unsure of where to turn, but never giving up. The mother, in particular, was devastated, clinging to the hope that the puppy was still out there, waiting to be found. Their journey was full of heartache and determination, but with each passing day, they feared the worst. The jungle was vast and wild, and the chances of finding a tiny puppy were slim. Yet, their love for the lost animal drove them to continue searching, unwilling to give up on their beloved pet. One fateful afternoon, as the family wandered deeper into the jungle, they stumbled upon the most unexpected sight. There, in a small clearing, was the puppy, alive, healthy, and playing by the side of the lion. At first, the family froze, their eyes widening in disbelief. The lion, large and majestic, stood near the puppy, watching over it with the same protective gaze they had seen in the jungle's wild creatures. The reunion was filled with overwhelming emotion. The mother of the puppy rushed forward, tears streaming down her face as she called out to her little one. The puppy, hearing the familiar voice, broke into a joyful bark and ran towards the family, tail wagging furiously. The lion remained still, as if understanding that this moment was one of both joy and sadness. The family embraced the puppy, who seemed to recognize them instantly. There was no hesitation, no fear, just the pure love of a creature reunited with its family. The lion watched from a distance, its eyes soft and understanding, as if it knew that its time with the puppy had come to an end. It was a bittersweet moment, filled with relief, joy, and sorrow all at once. As the family held their puppy close, the lion stood silently, its golden eyes fixed on the scene before it. The powerful animal had protected the puppy, nurtured it, and watched it grow stronger. But now, with the puppy in its family's arms, the lion understood that its role had come to an end. Without a sound, the lion turned away, taking one last, lingering look at the family and the puppy. The moment was quiet, as if the jungle itself held its breath. The lion didn't need to say anything. It didn't need to make a show of its departure. Its heart was full of love for the little creature it had protected, and though the bond they shared was profound, it knew that the puppy was where it belonged. With a final glance, the lion disappeared into the jungle, its massive form fading into the trees. The family, still holding the puppy, didn't speak for a moment, letting the weight of the moment sink in. They had been reunited with their lost puppy, but they knew that the lion had given them a gift that could never be repaid. A bond that transcended words, a love that defied the natural order. The family could never fully explain the kindness of the lion, but they knew one thing for sure. Their puppy's life had been saved by an animal who saw beyond its own nature, who cared for a creature not its own, and who silently faded away to let love take its place. It was a lesson in the power of kindness, in the unexpected bonds that can form, and in the silent sacrifices that go unnoticed by the world. The viewers, having witnessed the lion's silent farewell, would be left in awe of the animal's selflessness. The lion had given everything to ensure the puppy's survival, and though it left without fanfare, it had already made an impact that would last forever. As the sun began to set, casting golden hues across the jungle, the lion's departure marked the end of an incredible chapter in the puppy's life. The mighty animal, who had once been a protector and guardian, was now just a memory, one that would be cherished forever. The lion had not needed applause or recognition. Its actions spoke louder than any words could express. In its quiet departure, the lion left behind something far more precious than it could ever imagine. The unwavering bond between it and the puppy. The family, still in awe of what they had witnessed, knew that the lion's role in the puppy's life was irreplaceable. The reunion, though joyful, was tinged with a sadness that could not be erased. The lion had come into their lives at a moment when they had almost lost hope, and through its love and care, it had saved their puppy in ways they could never repay. As they watched the lion fade into the distance, a profound sense of gratitude filled their hearts. It was as if the jungle itself had given them a gift they would carry forever. Though the lion was no longer with them, the bond it had formed with the puppy would remain for a lifetime. The puppy, now strong and full of life, would never forget the warmth of the lion's presence, the way it had been protected and nurtured. It was clear to the family that the puppy's spirit had been forever changed by the love it had received. As the puppy grew older, it often wandered to the edges of the jungle, as if seeking the lion's familiar presence. The family noticed how the puppy would pause, looking out into the trees with a sense of longing, perhaps hoping for one last glance at the majestic lion that had saved it. But they understood that this bond, though unspoken, would always be a part of their lives. It was a reminder that love and care come in many forms, and sometimes the most unexpected connections are the most profound. The lasting bond between the lion and the puppy wasn't just about physical survival. It was about something deeper. It was about the power of kindness, of an animal's willingness to step outside of its own needs to care for another. It was a bond forged in the heart of the jungle, one that transcended species and defied all expectations. The puppy had learned the importance of trust, resilience, and compassion, lessons that would shape its future. As the family moved forward with their puppy, they carried with them the memory of the lion's selfless actions. In the quiet moments, when they would watch the puppy play, they often found themselves reflecting on the incredible story that had brought them together. The jungle, once a place of danger and fear, had become a symbol of the power of compassion and the unexpected miracles that can occur when love takes root in the most unlikely places. The viewers, too, would be left reflecting on the lion's quiet strength and the profound impact it had on the puppy's life. In a world often defined by conflict and struggle, this story stood as a reminder that kindness knows no boundaries. The lion's departure, though bittersweet, was a symbol of the deep, silent sacrifices that often go unnoticed but leave an indelible mark on the hearts of those who experience them. The story of the lion and the puppy was one that transcended the wild jungle they called home. It was a story of love, sacrifice, and the belief that sometimes the most powerful bonds are those formed without words. It was a story that would continue to inspire, leaving viewers with a heartwarming reminder of the unexpected ways in which love can change everything. As we come to the end of this heartwarming story, we invite you to reflect on the profound message of love and sacrifice shared between the lion and the puppy. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this incredible journey. What emotions did this story stir in you? Have you ever witnessed or experienced an unexpected act of kindness that changed everything? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's start a conversation about the power of compassion. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel for more incredible tales that remind us of the kindness and strength that can be found in the most unexpected places. Feel free to share this video with your friends and family and spread the message of love and selflessness. Together, we can inspire a world filled with more compassion. Thank you for joining us on this emotional journey, and we hope to see you in the next story.